Good to be back. I haven't been on YouTube for a while because I've been busy working on a couple other projects and it's been tough to get out. Plus, we're in lockdown mode again up here in Alberta, so can't really see anybody, talk to anybody. But right before Christmas, a good friend of mine, Vince Musi, great National Geographic photographer, sent me an email with this brass lens, and he said, he knew I was looking for one. He said, oh, you gotta look for this, get this brass lens. It looks like it's gonna be really great. So I ordered it, bought it off eBay, and it's in fantastic shape. The elements are great. It's a really, really nice lens. It's a 12-inch Eastman Kodak lens, and I have it here on my Canon camera. No shutter, of course. The aperture blades were sticking, but a friend of mine fixed them in about 2 minutes. Bill Peters, my optical engineer friend, fixed them. Anyway, it's great, it's working again. And this is actually the first time I've gone out to try to shoot with this. I was out the other day here and the winds were 40 miles an hour. It's crazy, couldn't shoot. And now today, it is May the 9th and it's snowing in Canada. It's raining, snowing, just can't catch a break getting out right now and doing something because the weather's been all over the place as well. But I'm really looking forward to using this. It should give me a really cool look. Anyway, so this is really gonna be a test day today. I wanna photograph this old cottonwood tree that's probably over 150 years old. 7 or 8 years ago, there's a gigantic flood that went through this place, probably busted it up a bit. It was one of those 1 in 100 year floods that we had in Alberta that went through. My good friend Mike Drew showed me this tree, and so I came back down and I want to try to get a portrait of it with this old lens. The tree and the lens were probably made around the exact same time. I'm going to be shooting Ilford Delta 100, but I'm going to be rating it at 50 ISO. So I'm going to pull the processing a little bit on it because I don't have a shutter and I can't be super accurate. I need to use a card in front of it for my shutter and it will probably overexpose. So I'm trying to drop the ISO so that I can at least maybe get to the range of a 1 second exposure. Part of the thing with using this lens is you don't want to stop right down to f16 or f22 because the lens becomes much sharper. I want to use it kind of wide open. This is an f4 lens and I'll probably stop it down to about f5.6. I'm just going to shoot 5 sheets of film today and just do a portrait of this tree and see how it all works out. And you guys can see how the first images from this lens is going to look as well. Hopefully it'll turn out and hopefully I'll get a picture and hopefully I won't get too wet and my film doesn't get wet, and there's a lot of factors going on here today. But this is a grand old tree and this should be a lot of fun, and it's great to take my 8x10 out again. I had a fun day yesterday. I got to be on the Large Format Photography podcast with Andrew, Simon, and Eric. We had a great conversation about things. And one of the things that I talked about was the beauty and simplicity and the freedom of going out with one camera and one lens. This is the only lens I have today, 12-inch lens. And when you do that, you really free yourself up into seeing just a certain way. And instead of always switching lenses and trying to look for a bunch of different scenes, you have to accept the fact that there's some things you're not going to be able to get, some things are not going to work, but then there's other things that will work really well. And when you go out for a day just with one lens and you see kind of one way, what that gives you is it gives your work authorship. And in the end, a series of photographs really look like one photographer took them. And I really like that. I really like that system of working, that way of working. And when people look at your photographs, it will look like a series. It will look like one photographer shot all those photographs. So it's a really good kind of exercise of going out. Sometimes, you know, leave all the gear at home, take one lens out and go roam around, see what you can find, and just make pictures like that. And I guarantee you, you know, you're gonna lay them out and they're really gonna work a certain way. They're gonna look like one cohesive body of work. So I love doing that. I love taking one lens out, and I'm gonna try a vertical photograph this time and see how this looks and how it works. I'm gonna look for one more spot to take one more photo. I'm not gonna carry this around because this lens alone weighs 4.5 pounds and everything is getting pretty heavy right now. I have no idea how long these shutter speeds are. It's one big guess. But we'll see, might be kind of cool. I have this little system that's made by NAS Gear, and it holds 3 8x10 film holders. I have one for my 4x5 as well. 4x5 holds 8 of them. These aren't made anymore, but there's another guy who makes them, and I'm gonna link right now to it. I think his name is Darren Stone, but I'll link to the guy who makes it. These are great in the field. You can hang them right here. Actually even gives you a little weight to weight the tripod down, but I love these. These are the business. I wish I could find a few more of these, and they're great to carry your film holders in. And also, if you're wondering how I carry my film holders, I have a Lightwear. This is kind of a computer bag, but this works really well. 8x10 film holders fit in here perfectly. This is made by Lightwear. They still make this, and actually you could put a lens in here, you can put notepads in here, tape, you can haul a lot of stuff. Well, I'm back in my darkroom. I'm dry, changed my pants. I was soaking wet. It's freezing out there as well. It's the second week of May. Alberta weather, crazy. As I was saying, I shot my film at 50 ISO. I kind of made a mistake already. I actually should have shot it at 10. I just saw on the massive development chart, people shoot this at 10, and which leaves me, I mean, this was experiment anyway, but next time I'll actually shoot this at 10 because I would like to get a slower shutter speed of about 1 second so I can time it a little better. These kind of quarter second is really hard to time. So I really don't know where I'm gonna be. But I shot it at 50. Normally I develop this in D76 at 1:1, which is what I'm going to do. And my time for that is 11 minutes. But I'm gonna knock the time back to 9.5 minutes because I shot it at 50. And we will see how this stuff turns out. I have my negatives developed. I brought them up. I'm just going to do some really quick scans on my Epson V700. I'm just using the Epson scan software, as you can see here. And the first thing that I found out is that this is definitely not a full frame lens. You can see here that the image circle doesn't cover 8x10. The lens is for a 5x7, but it just will kind of barely cover a 8x10 sheet if you crop in a little bit. But I kind of really like that look. I like that, having that image circle, so I can play with that a little bit. And there you have it. That's what it looks like with that lens. It's a great look. It's a lot of fun. I can see using this lens quite a bit, and especially for portraits. Once we can go out and take photographs of people again, and I can meet people without having them masked, and I can take their portrait, I'm really looking forward to using this lens. And I learned a little bit about shooting on Delta 100 and using the ISO of 10 as well. And that's really what today is all about. And that's what you should do when you get a new piece of kit, especially shooting film or going to a new film or new developer, is test these things out and then start making your changes from there. But I can see a lot of potential for this lens and using this whole system. Thanks for coming along on this short journey today. I did this whole thing in a day, photographing this old 150-year-old cottonwood tree. I want to thank my good friend Vince Musi. He's the world's foremost dog photographer. Check out his book, check out his Instagram. It's really amazing. And I want to thank my friend Mike Drew. Check out his YouTube channel. He has been doing a column for a newspaper here in videos for 30 years. He has not missed a column for his newspaper. And then for the past 15 years, he's been producing a video once a week for his YouTube channel. I'll leave a link to that below. I want to thank him a lot for showing me this great spot and where to take this tree photo. Don't forget to subscribe and stay safe, everybody. See you next time. Cheers.